Everything is energy, and you are the one controlling it, through something you've barely paid attention to. Right now, you're breathing. It's automatic, effortless, and so mundane that you hardly notice it. But has it ever crossed your mind that your breath is the most powerful tool you have to take control of your reality? Your mind is constantly handling countless tasks, thoughts, feelings, and sensations. But how often do you pause to truly observe them? The reason we often don't is because we're so absorbed in the external world that we overlook the immense potential within us. Your breath serves as the bridge between your inner self and the outer world. It's a readily available tool, always at your disposal, just waiting to be utilized. Consider the last time you tried to master something new, whether it was a sport, a language, or a skill. Initially, it likely felt awkward and uncoordinated. Your actions were rigid and your mind seemed unfocused. But with consistent practice, everything began to feel more fluid and natural. What shifted? Your brain adapted, forming new neural pathways and patterns. This is where the concept of energy control becomes essential. Many believe they need more energy to accomplish their tasks, but often the issue isn't a lack of energy. It's about utilizing the energy you already possess more effectively. It's like having a full tank of fuel, but driving with the parking brake engaged. The energy is present, but it isn't being channeled properly. So how do you address this? By removing the obstacles between your conscious and unconscious mind, you can tap into capabilities you never realized you had. This isn't just a mental trick. It's rooted in neuroscience and cognitive psychology. Let's try a simple exercise. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Pay attention to each inhalation and exhalation. Notice how some breaths feel deep while others are shallow, some warm and others cool. Don't try to change anything, simply observe. After a short while, your breathing will naturally adjust. This is your brain letting go of unnecessary control mechanisms. This concept extends to all areas of life. Our minds create countless invisible rules we can learn to adapt or even disregard. Consider how a cat always lands on its feet, or how a baby learns to walk. They don't rely on step-by-step instructions. They allow their bodies to intuitively figure it out. As we mature, we tend to overthink. We push for outcomes instead of allowing them to unfold naturally. We become trapped in rigid thought and behavior patterns. While these patterns might offer some benefits, they also hinder us from realizing our full potential. Energy control involves identifying these hidden patterns and collaborating with them, rather than resisting them. It's like mastering the art of surfing instead of battling the waves. The energy is already present. You just need to harness it. You'll discover how your brain constructs its own version of reality and how to fine-tune that perception. It's not about imagining things that don't exist. It's about becoming aware of what has always been there, just waiting to be recognized.
What you perceive is not what is, but what your mind allows you to see.
Your subconscious acts like the matrix of perception, influencing how you perceive and engage with the world around you. Imagine your brain as a powerful supercomputer, processing millions of pieces of information every second. However, there's a twist. Most of this processing happens without our awareness. At this very moment, your brain is filtering out sensations, like the feel of your clothes against your skin, background noises, and countless other stimuli. It decides what's important and ignores the rest. This filtering mechanism evolved to help our ancestors survive by focusing on threats and resources, and it still operates in us today. Here's a simple experiment to illustrate this. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. What did you hear? Chances are, you noticed sounds that were there all along but went unnoticed until you directed your attention to them. Your brain was always detecting these sounds, but it didn't highlight them until you consciously tuned in. This selective attention functions like a spotlight in a dark room. Whatever the light shines on becomes clear, while everything else remains in the shadows. But unlike a physical spotlight, your brain can instantly shift this focus between different senses, from sight to sound to touch and back again. Your beliefs and past experiences shape everything you perceive. If you believe snakes are dangerous, you'll notice snake-like shapes more quickly than someone who isn't afraid of them. Your brain creates mental shortcuts based on what it has learned is important to you. These shortcuts can sometimes deceive us. For example, if you look at a banana under blue light, it still appears yellow because your brain knows bananas are yellow. It adjusts what you see to align with your expectations, and this happens constantly, often without your awareness. However, you can train your brain to become more observant. Athletes, for instance, practice until they can detect subtle movements in their opponents, like a slight shift in weight that indicates a change in direction. Musicians develop the ability to hear fine distinctions in sound, such as microtones or variations in timbre that most people overlook. Similarly, poker players master the art of reading micro-expressions or changes in breathing. That signal when someone is bluffing. Your brain improves at noticing whatever you train it to notice, regardless of the skill or field. What you focus on, you strengthen. Consider learning to drive. Initially, every action requires conscious effort, operating the pedals, steering, checking mirrors. Over time, these actions become automatic. Your brain learns what to prioritize and what to handle subconsciously. The same principle applies to energy work. When you begin, you might find it challenging to sense subtle energy movements, but with practice, these sensations become more distinct. Your brain develops new patterns and shortcuts. You can leverage this to your benefit. By practicing focused attention, you teach your brain to recognize energy patterns it previously ignored. It's like increasing the contrast on a photograph. The details were always present, but now they're much clearer.
The universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine.
The quantum world defies the rules we're familiar with in everyday life. Objects can exist in multiple places simultaneously. Particles can instantly connect across vast distances, and simply observing something can alter its state. These aren't just abstract concepts, they're the fundamental behaviors of reality at its tiniest scale. Imagine a coin spinning on a table. In our everyday experience, it lands as either heads or tails. But in the quantum realm, particles can be like a spinning coin, existing as both heads and tails at the same time. Scientists refer to this phenomenon as superposition. This isn't just a curious theory, it's the foundation of many modern technologies. The processor in your phone depends on quantum effects. GPS satellites rely on quantum calculations to provide precise locations, and even plants use quantum processes during photosynthesis to convert sunlight into energy. One of the most intriguing aspects of quantum physics is entanglement, where particles become interconnected in ways that seem to defy logic. When two particles are entangled, changing one instantly influences the other, regardless of the distance between them. Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance because it appeared to violate his principle that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. The quantum world isn't limited to tiny particles. Its influence extends to larger objects as well. Scientists have successfully placed visible objects, such as small mirrors, metal fragments, and even living bacteria, into quantum states like superposition. This challenges the traditional boundary between the microscopic quantum realm and our everyday reality. Quantum mechanics also raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. Does something exist if it hasn't been observed? If a quantum particle can exist in multiple places at once until measured, what does that imply about the true nature of existence? These mysteries encourage us to rethink our understanding of what is real and what is possible. Some researchers speculate that quantum mechanics could play a role in how the brain functions. The theory suggests that quantum processes occurring within brain cells might contribute to consciousness, our ability to think and experience emotions. Though this idea remains controversial, it highlights the potential for quantum physics to influence many aspects of our lives.
What we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning.
Observation shapes reality. This fundamental idea, central to quantum physics, also holds profound significance in how we interact with energy. Imagine a child playing alone, carefree and unself-conscious. The moment they realize they're being watched, their behavior changes. They might start performing or retreat into shyness. The same effect occurs at the smallest scales of the universe. When scientists measure a quantum particle, the act of observation alters its state. It's similar to checking if a room is dark. You have to turn on a light, but that very light changes the darkness you intended to observe. Now let's consider what this means for energy work. When you direct your attention to energy, you're not just a passive observer. You're actively influencing its movement and transformation. Your focus creates a connection, forming a bridge between you and what you're perceiving. But rather than being a limitation, this is a powerful tool. Understanding that attention shapes energy allows for greater precision in practice. For example, if you want to feel energy in your hands, simply focusing on the sensation begins to generate it. Your expectation plays a role in shaping the experience. This leads to an intriguing question. If observation alters what we perceive, how can we truly know what is real? The answer may be unexpected. Everything we observe is real, just influenced by our observation. It's a dynamic interaction, like a dance where both partners shape each other's movements. Consider watching a sunset. The colors, the emotions it stirs. These arise not just from the sunset itself, but also from how you choose to experience it. Your mood, thoughts, and focus all contribute to its meaning for you. In energy work, this awareness is key. If you seek peaceful energy, your attention helps cultivate that peace. If you focus on strength, your observation draws that strength forward. But it's not just about watching. There's something deeper at play. The observer effect reveals an important truth about responsibility in our practice. Since our attention influences what we observe, it's essential to be intentional about where we direct our focus. What we give energy to becomes stronger. This doesn't mean we're imagining things. It means we are active participants in reality, not just passive witnesses. When working with energy, we play a dual role, both the observer and part of what is being observed. It's like being the photographer and also appearing in the photograph. In practice, this means paying attention to how your expectations shape your experience. Are you sensing warmth, tingling, or movement? Your focus plays a role in what emerges. This isn't a flaw. It's a natural and valuable aspect of working with energy, as long as you remain aware of it.
Energy flows where attention goes.
As we've explored, everything is energy, and your ability to control it lies in your awareness and focus. From the breath that connects your inner and outer worlds to the subconscious patterns that shape your perception, you have the tools to influence your reality. The quantum world reminds us that observation itself is a powerful force, capable of altering the state of what we perceive. The key takeaway is this: you are not a passive bystander in your life. By directing your attention intentionally, you can shape the energy around you and within you. Whether you're seeking peace, strength, or clarity, the process begins with awareness and practice. Start small. Take a few moments each day to focus on your breath, observe your thoughts, or tune into the subtle energies around you. Over time, these practices will become second nature, and you'll find yourself more in tune with the flow of energy in your life. Remember, the journey of mastering energy is not about perfection. It's about progress. Just as a surfer learns to ride the waves, you too can learn to navigate the currents of energy that shape your reality. The power is within you. All you need to do is take the first step.